Hello everyone, welcome to Community Distance Reiki. It's so wonderful to see you all. For those of you that are new here, welcome in. And for those of you who've been here before, welcome back. It's good to see so many of you popping in. If you are new here and you are live, go ahead and hit that live stream button. Feel free to make any requests for your personal healing that you would like to see addressed. They can be general or specific, and you can request a crystal or you can let me suggest one or several for you. We're going to start off for the first half hour, 40 minutes, and focus on this beautiful crystal grid that we will build together based on all of your requests. And then at about the 45-minute point, we will transition into the session where I will turn the lights down, turn the music up, and send healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. If you are watching this on the replay, you're guaranteed just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. But if you would like to join me live, go ahead and click that description button and you'll see all the usual days and times that I stream here on YouTube. You can also subscribe with your notifications on so that you don't miss an opportunity to join us. So good to have you all here today. Let's go ahead over and take a peek at that grid already in progress. And of course, as a reminder, if you want to know more about my online Reiki classes, my Discord, crystal shop, or social media, go ahead and check that out in the description. So yeah, let's see, Vincent, Cora Carr, Violet Integration, Grace. Wonderful. Let's see who all is here. Okay, good stuff. Sorry for the mix-up in the beginning. For some reason, the stream was on private. I didn't set it that way, but thanks, YouTube. Always creating new settings for us to foul up. Okay, so let's see. Happiness, studying, career advancement, heart healing, fluorite, and clear quartz. Absolutely. And for studying, let's see. There's a couple of good options. Let's go with Tiger Eye. We haven't used that in a little bit. And what else do we have? Career advancement? Gotcha. And yep, for Greg and Susan. Vincent, receiving money, disposable income, balance, protection, clarity. Oh, good. Tiger Eye is helpful for that too. Oh, I'm sorry about your dog, Violet Integration. Focus, connection with Goddess, and weight loss. Good stuff. So let's start here. Okay. So we'll start with the clear quartz. And of course I have the copper that I usually do to help break up any blockages, get the optimal flow of energy going. And recently we've been working with jade under that. The reason we've been working with jade is because it really is a well-balanced and harmonious stone of prosperity, good luck, good relationships, and good fortune. And a lot of us have been manifesting around finances. This is clear quartz, which helps to amplify any other stones that we are working with. It can stand in for a stone if we don't have it, and it also can help to amplify anything that we're working with, as far as even holding it can also hold like a recording. If you have a really specific intention for healing or moving past a habit or developing a new habit that's healthier, you can hold onto a piece of clear quartz crystal and kind of imprint that into it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that here. Fluorite helps with not only the teeth, but also calm, balancing, regenerating energy. It can be a stone that really brings a lot of peace, really, even in times of just sort of like tumult, especially when you can't quite put your finger on what's causing the feeling of anxiety. Fluorite can be really helpful, and it naturally grows into these octahedrons. So let's start with a couple of those. Also wanted to bring in, and I have a couple other stones that I'm going to put in for you too, Grace. I have some moonstone for Korakar, connecting with, sorry about that, connecting with the goddess. Hello, Bethany, welcome back. Good to see you. Moonstone can be excellent for that, connecting with the goddess. We also might use some other stones too that I have in mind, but moonstone in particular, and we are very much still in that energy of that new moon solar eclipse from yesterday. It's still pretty heavy and intense. If you're prone to feeling it, you really feel it. But this is a stone of connection with all things divine femininity, mother goddess kind of energy, but also connection to the lunar cycles and everything they control, which is the waterways. We are mostly made of water, so of course it impacts us. And in a lot of different cultures, disciplines, theologies, water is linked with emotions, so including tarot. So yeah, I feel like this can really, really help. Connection to arcane wisdom, and connection to the divine and to the reflection of the divine within you. So I'm going to bring that in. So that's moonstone. For studying and clarity and protection, we have tiger eye. Tiger eye is a very protective stone, as is red and blue tiger eye. This is a stone that can help with perspective when you're learning, or just perspective of any kind of situation, especially if it's a very big, broad situation that has a lot of different things implicated and connected to it, a lot of different people's input. This helps us to see from a higher level, as though we are looking down on all the pieces, and can start to make like a clear understanding of what the story really is. And in studying, it can help us to see how all of these things we're studying fit together, how there's a cohesive story and lesson to it, so that we really learn the material, not just sort of memorize pieces of it. It's also, like I said, highly protective, but it gives a lot of clarity. It takes all of that information and brings us to the points that are the most important, so that we can see what that is. So yeah, great for all of those things. So I'm going to bring some of that in. And we have let's see. Hey Ben, good to see you. For Dobby's IBD flare-up. So for those of you unaware, Dobby is Violet Integration's dog. So Black obsidian is excellent with animals, especially if it's nervous animals, but it's also great for processing things that are in the digestive tract, especially if those things involve nervous energy, but not always. So this can help with both. It's also a great stone for Korakar's friend Patty, who's recently suffered a loss in her life. This is a stone that can help us process grief, be present in those feelings, not sort of bypass them, and not be so overwhelmed that we kind of can't move. It's a stone for kind of shock and for anything that's traumatic, whether it's emotionally traumatic, physically traumatic. Oftentimes anything traumatic is to some extent at least a little bit of both. And it's very, very protective as well. So I'm going to bring this in for all of those things. Yeah, I use it a lot for folks that are suffering digestion issues. It can really, really help kind of move things through. It helps us move things through emotionally and move things through physically. Cool. So let's see, what else do we have? We also have for moving on with career advancement, which was a request of Grace's. We have lapis. This is a stone of honesty, integrity, the kind of people we want to work with and the kind of people we want to be. But it also has a deep connection with moving along in terms of your career, whether you're moving upwards where you currently are or you're moving upwards elsewhere. This is a great one to have around. It's also a good one to have in your pocket if you're going, whether you're going on an interview or especially like a networking kind of thing, or any kind of event or situation where you may meet people who can help you move along and advance your career as well. This is also thought to help things like the inner ear and ear in general, especially when it comes to balance, so like vertigo and dizziness. So we'll go ahead and bring that in. We use it here too a lot for pain and inflammation. Where else are we seeing stuff? And feel free to make any requests you have, everyone. Yeah. I find turmeric helps me too, and I also find certain things really trigger reflux for me. Anything that's like too much, anything with too much tamari does it for me. Gives me reflux for sure. Yeah. Oh, hey, JS, good to see you. Solar plexus. Hey, good to see you, Christina. Yeah, absolutely, we can help you with that. Definitely need to do a lot around prosperity, heart healing. Yeah. Let's do happiness and solar plexus. That's going to be some yellow calcite for sure. Yellow calcite is such a joy-filled stone. Absolutely love working with it. It's also really empowering to the solar plexus chakra. So for those unfamiliar, the solar plexus chakra is like right beneath the bottom of your rib cage. So if you know where your breastbone is, there's sort of that like hollow area right beneath the bottom of the breastbone, and then right there you get into the energy center that's usually described as the solar plexus. That area relates to your personal identity and your free will. So everything from standing up to yourself to being kind of a doormat, to listening to the ideas of others so you can integrate them, to stepping over the ideas of others, and lots of different things therein. So solar plexus can help us to have our own unique sense of personal identity based on what's in our own best interest and our own highest good and our own free will, rather than what other people have kind of put upon us or what's expected of us. So that can help there. It's also really helpful for anything that has to do with taking joy in who you fundamentally are, which is definitely the case here. So I'm going to bring this in. This is also like just joy and happiness in general. So let's bring this. Okay. Gotcha. Diving into what you want to do in life, whether or not you want to move abroad, thinking outside the box. That's very much solar plexus stuff too. What else can we do to support that kind of stuff? Like following our own path. There's some really good stones for that. We had one that we used yesterday, chrysocolla. I'm going to bring that back in. This is one that really is empowering in a spiritual way too. This has to do with making decisions that are in alignment with our highest good and not so much the expectations of others or even our former expectations of ourselves. But it allows us, it encourages us to follow a more spiritual path and like what's really in our greater alignment, not just the immediate alignment. It encourages us also to seek out new ways of being creative, which can be a great outlet to get to know ourselves, to get to experience our environment. So yeah, this has a lot to do with following your purpose, following your bliss, following your joy, and following your own highest good, rather than listening to what society says, what other people says, things like that. So we'll bring this in. I'm going to bring in a piece here, piece here. Kind of have those anchor us in. There's another one too that is excellent for this, and it's one that I actually collected on the beach with my grandmother. This is white coral. This helps us to follow it very much aligned with the crown chakra, which is connection to divinity, to all that is, people, places, things, and spirit. And it allows us to really go forward based on our own sense of true north and following that North Star for ourselves without apology, without having to explain ourselves, but really just doing what we feel is in our highest good. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring that in too. So I think that will help. I think a lot of people are in a weird life phase right now. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of readings for folks, and that's real. And also this, the good news and the challenging news for a lot of folks is this particular eclipse season is going to be make or break for a lot of people. Not so much make or break, like break you as a person so much, but more like separating the wheat from the chaff. I mean, that's often the case, but this particular time around, I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of November you have a better idea where you're going and how you're going to get there and feel better about it. So I hope that helps. Favor add some crystals for you too. Back pain, spinal stenosis, psychic development, tobacco cessation, low metabolism, other good crystals for the new moon. You got it. Definitely low metabolism. Let's see, definitely excellent to use some Unakite there. Unakite also helping, as you know now, for quitting smoking. It's good for really any addiction that you're working with, addictive qualities being, whether it's a medication, smoking, anything is Unakite. It's also excellent for any and all phases of women's health, whether it's onset of menses to postmenopause to marriage and relationships, labor, birth, delivery, postpartum, every aspect of a woman's life and health and hormones therein. So yeah, there's a lot of linkage to fluids in the body and metabolism as well with this. So we'll bring this in. Let's see. Actually, let's see. We'll bring in. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, the difficult conversations from yesterday went so well. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you for sharing that. Lots of love. Hey, W. I hope you're well. I'm so glad that went well. So glad that went well. Yeah, I've been working a lot with blue tiger eye as well. I have a few pieces here at my computer as I'm like writing and things, and it's been really, really helpful. Really, really helpful. And let's do, so here's that Unakite. Build from the inside out there. There we go. I'm really glad that was helpful. Let's see. one's for taking pride in who we are, because I really want to help with the request for Vincent. Let's go ahead and bring in some pyrite and some citrine. Citrine helps with bringing in that financial abundance. It's beautiful brownish orangey color. It's the stone of accepting financial abundance and bringing it in. We use it in pretty much every grid that we do. It'd be so helpful. And pyrite too is thought to be really helpful with bringing in finances. It's the stone that's often called fool's gold, which is interesting. It also helps to break up energy blockages and provide an optimal flow of things like Reiki energy as well. So it works really well alongside copper. It's also thought to be helpful for things like fever and the lungs, as well as supporting things like Reiki. So yeah, bring along that money, right, Ben? So let's go ahead and bring that in. There we go. And we also want to do like feeling worthy for sure. Because I feel like worthiness is an issue when it comes to finances too, right? So I'm going to bring in some Amazonite. This will help with the feelings of worthiness, along with support for what Chris asked for with the spinal stenosis. This is a stone of self-respect and self-care. I especially like to use it with folks who are more care focused in terms of care for others. So this is like nurses, you know, the friend whose phone always rings when somebody needs something. But it's also great for any kind of neuro issues, and especially the spine and the spinal nerves. It can help with pain, and it can actually help with the structure there too. It's very calming, and it does help support some amount of like windfall too. This can help with luck in terms of winnings and like things that you have coming towards you that are just sort of like a boon. So we'll bring that in. So it can help people be reminded that, like, yes, I'm due this good that I put out into the universe as well. It's important that I have that balance. So let's go ahead and bring some of this in. Whenever you pull cards to indicate financial abundance, you struggle to trust that, so it's less likely to show up. I know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because it's so tangible, but it's so important. I'm also going to bring in some aventurine. Aventurine helps us with expanding how we view ourselves. So this is our own potential, but also to a great extent can bring about our sense of worthiness. If we think, oh no, I'm just down here, I can't quite do that up there, we also don't think that we should be compensated at that way up there, even though we might already be doing that work. So aventurine really does help expand that. It's also thought to be helpful for things like fertility as well as allergies and eye problems. So green aventurine. So hopefully that will help. that's Green Aventurine there. Let's also do for courage, practicality, finding balance, strength in times of change, and this particular eclipse season is going to be a lot of change. This is going to be helpful. So here is strength, but also creativity with that courage. So it's not just courage and determination. It's also, garnet has this sense of helping us to be organized and practical, but also kind of creative in finding another way to do things. So not quite so rigid, like this is the way it's always been done, but more like the, okay, maybe this isn't working out so great. What if we just sort of switch things up? What if we look at this from a different perspective? I have a Capricorn sun and a Taurus moon. And so I feel like garnet is very much in alignment with how my sun sign is, with like practicality, but also like looking for the best way to do things, looking for those innovations along the way, where the Taurus is like, but it works just fine just now. We'll just wait for it to get done when it gets done, kind of thing. So I find that this is a good stone that helps to push. When I need to bring out those more Capricorn kind of tendencies, this can be a great stone for that. But yeah, it's also just finding balance, which can be helpful. When is that not helpful? It's always helpful. And let's see. Let's do for heart healing. What do we feel like we could use? So many good options. Usually we go with like a rhodonite or a rose quartz. I feel like given the astrological impacts of right now for heart healing, maybe some malachite, helping us move through those shifts and changes within the heart chakra so that we can still remain open while these things shift and things move. So this popped up for me today too. Actually, malachite and chrysocolla, as you can see the similarity in their coloring, they're actually found in nature very close to one another, and where they're found is often very close to copper. So it's really interesting how they all ended up lined up there. I did not plan that. That's just sort of how it went. And I think we're almost at that point where I pick a few stones for us to vote on. Yeah, definitely thinking outside the box and curiosity, but making plans is garnet for sure. And also for the physical side of reflux, black obsidian. Also gonna bring in Malachite before I pick a few for us to vote on. Malachite helps with decisions and accepting change, but it also helps with calming digestion, so that could be helpful. It also goes by the name Australia jasper, and it comes in a number of colors. I just happen to have mostly red. But yeah, this is Malachite. Like I said, this can be a great stone for any type of calming digestion, but especially if you feel stuck when it comes to making decisions. This can help you make decisions based on the here and now and not based on, but maybe if I wait, things will get better. But maybe if I wait, maybe, but what about, it used to be this way, it used to be that way. It helps us make decisions based on the here and now. Okay. So for the rest of our healing, I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of peeks through the crystal, see what kind of feels like it fits all of the requests that we've had today. And then we're going to go ahead, take a vote on it. And I'll explain what Reiki is all about for those who are new, and then we'll get into the healing. So bear with me a moment. Wow, you're just going to mention making a decision. Oh, I'm so glad. Something told me to pick Malachite. So I'm so glad that was helpful, W. So let me see what else could work. Chat amongst yourselves. Okay, so preemptive both. Okay, so here's what's kind of jumped out at me. The first would be petrified wood. So when it comes to things like making decisions, transforming, becoming the next version of ourselves, moving through change, petrified wood reminds us that sometimes we have to die in some ways to become the next thing. Petrified wood is, a tree that was alive and living as a plant, became a dead plant in order for it to fossilize and become stone. So it helps to remind us of that long process from one beautiful thing to another beautiful thing. The other is Rutilated Quartz and Rutilated Smoky Quartz, respectively. So Rutilated Quartz, which talks about these rutils, these sort of looks like fuzz in there, if you might be able to see it. Those rutils are thought to send the healing energy exactly to where it's meant to go. Rutilated quartz can help energize us, and it can also help us to kind of get a little bit of an immune boost as well. Smoky quartz, particularly when it is rutilated, smoky quartz has the ability to help amplify Reiki energy healing, it's thought. It's also helpful in terms of protection and transmuting energy. So rather than simply like dispelling what's no longer in our highest good, it actually changes it into something better. So would you like the Rutilated quartzes or the petrified wood? You're not limited to just one vote, hint, hint, hint. And, oh, okay. Hey, Samantha, welcome in. Upset stomach. Gotcha. Sinus infection, throat. Yeah. Definitely, unfortunately, you're not the only doggy in the room that has a sour stomach. Black obsidian can be really helpful for calming digestion, but also it's great for animals as well. So we've got that. We also have, for the throat stuff, I'll add in something for that. I'm going to add in some blue lace agate. And so while y'all are voting, I'll put in some blue lace agate before we get started. While y'all are voting, please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps people find me. And I'm just going to quickly explain what Reiki is to those who've never been here before, and then we will dive into the healing. So as I mentioned at the top of the hour, my name's Danielle Stimpson, and I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. So you can learn more about me, my online Reiki classes, community Discord, social media, and crystal shop, all in the description below. So the style I work with most is known as Usui Reiki, named after this particular style's founder. And this particular style was founded in 1920s Japan. And while Mikao Usui had many different sort of influences throughout his life, he studied many different types of spirituality and even types of healing. When he created this particular method, well, it involved many of those different styles and techniques and concepts. It is rooted in the indigenous Japanese faith of Shintoism, at least in the concept of just what energy actually is. And in Shintoism, it's thought that everything is interconnected and everything has a soul. And everything, not just the people and the plants, the things we would think of as being alive, but literally everything. And within that sort of everything has a soul, everything has a spirit, there are several different energies that can run within them. One of them being the spiritually guided life force or soul energy, which we translate to, which we would call spiritually guided life force energy. This is translated from the Japanese Reiki. So this energy, it's thought that everyone has access to it. It's flowing through you right now. It's flowing through me right now. And that our body, mind, and spirit are already working with it and automatically know what to do with it. Just as we are mostly made of water, even though we don't really think of it that way, our body knows exactly how to use that water to support our basic processes so that we can be here. Same with Reiki. Our body, mind, and spirit automatically know how to use that energy to best support us. And it can help impact us on a physical level in terms of how we feel in our body, an emotional level, our feelings, the mental level, which is what we thinking, our attitudes, our beliefs, and our spiritual layers, which is how we understand spirituality to be, receiving intuition, and feeling connected to everyone and everything. As you receive this Reiki session, it's not going to be an energy that you're unfamiliar with, but certainly at a level that you may not have felt before. Essentially, what I'm doing is connecting with this energy and directing more of it to you, allowing your body, mind, and spirit to use it in the best possible way for your highest needs. You can set intentions for your healing at any point in time. All you need to do is just think about what your intentions are and let it go to the universe. And during the session, you don't have to do anything. Go ahead and make yourself as physically comfortable as you can, sitting up, lying down, whatever seems right to you. Feel free to close your eyes. You may take a nap, that's totally fine. If you'd like to combine this time with something else, like some stretches or journaling or anything, that's totally up to you, totally your perspective. At the end of the 25-minute session, you'll hear my voice come in and invite you to come on back to the chat. ask any questions you might have, share any experiences that you might have, and at that time we can just sort of chat about it. If you are watching this on the replay, or if you think of a question later, go ahead and use the comments or reach out to me on social media, and I'll do my best to get back to you with an answer right away. During the session as well, like I said, it'll be 25 minutes long. I will turn down the lights. You'll notice them moving slowly and evenly through several different colors, but at no point will they flash or strobe. And the music will be soft, gentle, and peaceful. If you would like to learn more about the music creator, her information is in the description below as well. So, do I have any recommendations for being more receptive to Reiki? I would say if you feel like some folks, it's almost like a mental thing, and like, why wouldn't it be? But I would say anytime that you feel like you have to focus on something, you don't. If you feel like you need to like quiet your mind, you don't necessarily have to. I would say if you get distracted, or if you find that your mind is doing the human thing, or if you're not quite sure what's coming to mind, if it's intuition or just your mind babble, because sometimes that mind babble is important. I usually suggest taking a deep breath in and out, and it'll just naturally reset and bring you back into the session. Other than that, lazy Reiki is the best kind. Get physically comfortable. Nobody's watching. Go ahead, grab a blankie, curl up. It's cool. I won't tell anybody. It's totally okay. And if you want to set an intention, just go ahead and bring it to mind, take a deep breath, and let it go. Other than that, you can simply state to yourself, to the universe, like, I'm open to receiving this energy for the greatest, highest good. And that might help you set that intention a little bit more. So I hope that helps you. But yeah, even when Reiki doesn't feel like it's very obviously there, it's still there. Oh, dizziness too. We have lapis in there, so that can help with the dizziness as well. I'm so glad that that's helpful. And welcome in, Belinda. It's all good. Cool. So let's see who won the vote. Also, Reiki energy, because it's flowing through all of us and connecting all of us no matter where we are. It's also connecting us no matter when we are. So if you are watching this in the future, hello from the past, you are going to have a good healing time too. You can always rewatch any stream that you like. You can zip right ahead to the healing at the end, or enjoy the crystal building with all of us. Totally up to you. Let me make sure that that's being silent. And yeah, so go ahead and simply just relax, enjoy, and know that you're going to get a session whenever you happen to be finding this video. And you're welcome, JS. Okay, so let's see what won that vote. Okay, wonderful. So go ahead and move this over. Let's see. So we've got, oh, is it both? Of course it's both. It's always both. So let's go ahead and put this petrified wood in here. There we go. And we'll go ahead and place these Rutilated quartz and Smoky quartz pieces here. Let's do that so you can see them. And then I'm going to put some of that blue lace agate around to help with Sam's throat. Blue lace agate helps with sore throat, skin allergies, tension, headaches. Also with articulating difficult emotions. So I know we were talking about blue tiger eye for that. This is another one that can help. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put that. Oh, hey, welcome in, Joanne. We're just getting into the Reiki. So, as I just mentioned, Reiki is a gentle energy healing. This particular method comes from Japan. And the concept is that everyone, everywhere, already has this energy running through them. Essentially, what I'll be doing is connecting to that energy source and directing more of it to all of you to support your greatest healing good. So if you have any healing intentions, for those of you who were earlier and you've already made them, but you think of another, just think of it at any time during the session. Or if you're just dropping in, you can do the same thing. You can just go ahead and think of what it is you'd like the Reiki to support, if anything in particular. You don't have to have a special intention. Just bring it to mind and take a deep breath and let it go. What I'll be doing is setting my intention, connecting to that energy, and directing it to all of you, wherever you happen to be and whenever you happen to be watching this stream. I'll send for 25 minutes. You'll have a beautiful soundtrack in that time. The musician's info is in the description. And as well, we've got the lights will move gently and slowly through several different colors, but at no point will they flash or strobe. Thank you for being here. It's an honor and a privilege, as always, to share Reiki healing with everyone that is here. Thank you so much to those of you who contributed to the request for the crystal grid. This is a really beautiful grid. It's amazing how one session to the next, they can be so different or so the same. It really kind of depends. And sometimes they'll have the same crystals, but feel so different. But yeah, I'm so grateful to have you all here today. So everybody go ahead, relax, lay down, sit up, whatever feels right. I'll reopen the chat in about 25 minutes, and I hope that you enjoy your session. invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly begin to move, stretch, or bend. And when you're ready, if you'd like, you can come back to this session and ask any questions or share any experiences. Thank you so much for being here. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure. And thank you very much for the kind words in chat. Thank you very much, Erica. That's really sweet. I appreciate that. And Ben and Christina, I did see your requests and I absolutely worked them in. You're so welcome, Grace. You're so welcome. I'm glad, W. You're welcome, Vincent. Wonderful to see you all here and absolutely loving all the love in the chat. It makes me so happy every day to see everybody just cheering each other on and checking in with everyone. It's an absolute joy. Oh, you're so welcome, G.S. I'm so glad that helped. So glad that helped. Oh, I'm glad you got some financially abundant cards showing up. May that happen for all of us. Times are indeed tough right now. I mean, I can't complain. It's definitely harder on folks in other places of the world than what I have. So I'm grateful and willing to accept more. Oh, Belinda. Oh, you're in Australia. Awesome. Welcome in. Glad that you're here. So as a reminder, we don't do a Thursday stream anymore, but we do have 2 streams on Friday, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. U.S. time, or East Coast U.S. time, same time zone as this, and Sunday at 8 p.m. If you want to learn more about my online Reiki classes, Discord, social media, and crystal shop, and as well my email newsletter list, you can go ahead and check out the description below for that. And I'm just so honored and so grateful to have so many of you here and cheering each other on and with kind words for me also. Deeply appreciate every single one of you. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring our stream today to a close. A wonderful group. And yeah, I needed that healing too. It's the time between now and like early-ish mid-November is going to be exciting, intense, maybe live in interesting times. It's going to be interesting. So know that I'll be here and abundantly happy to be of service to anybody. Yeah, absolutely. Have a good night, W. Have a lovely day, JS. You're so welcome, Korakar. And everyone, thank you so much for being here. I do hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and a beautiful tomorrow, and I hope to see you again soon. Don't forget to take care of yourselves, and bye for now.